Gary Null, in his ceaseless charade as a sage of alternative medicine, has become a veritable poster boy for the most insidious form of ignorance, the kind dressed up as enlightenment. With his voice echoing through the radio waves, he does not merely express opinions that are in opposition to the medical establishment. He wages a relentless war against the very foundations of scientific understanding. His anti-vaccination rhetoric is a toxic brew, a concoction of half-truths, misrepresentations, and outright falsehoods, served up with the confidence of a man who believes his own myths. In Null's world, vaccines are not the life-saving medical miracles that have eradicated diseases and saved countless lives. They are instead nefarious agents of harm, part of a grand conspiracy to deceive the public and undermine natural health. This stance is not just folly, it is a dangerous, potentially deadly folly. By peddling fear and misinformation about vaccines, Null contributes to a growing culture of health paranoia, where unsubstantiated internet rumors hold more sway than decades of scientific research and clinical evidence. He doesn't just encourage skepticism of the pharmaceutical industry, he fosters a wholesale rejection of established medical science. In his crusade, Gary Null has become a figurehead for a movement that champions personal belief over empirical evidence, that confuses freedom of choice with an obligation to disregard the advice of experts. He presents himself as a defender of individual liberty, but in reality, he is an agent of disinformation, undermining the public's ability to make informed decisions about their health. What is perhaps most alarming about Null's rhetoric is not its mere existence, but its popularity. That he has found an audience willing to embrace his views, to reject the consensus of the medical community in favor of his fear-mongering, is a damning indictment of our society's relationship with science and expertise. It speaks to a troubling trend where personal belief is elevated above objective truth, where the echo chambers of like-mindedness drown out the voice of reason. Null's narrative is seductive because it offers simple answers to complex problems, because it provides a villain in the face of uncertainty. But the simplicity of his narrative is a mirage, a false comfort that only serves to distract from the nuanced reality of medical science. Vaccines, like all medical interventions, are not without their risks, but these risks are dwarfed by their benefits, a fact that is borne out by a wealth of scientific evidence. In the grand scheme of things, Gary Null is but a footnote, a minor character in the broader narrative of our time. But the ideas he espouses, the distrust of science and the glorification of ignorance, are part of a larger, more disturbing trend. It is a trend that, if left unchecked, threatens to undermine the very foundations of our public health and our commitment to rational inquiry. Null's anti-vaccination stance is a clarion call not to arms but to reason. It is a reminder that the battle for truth is never fully won, that the forces of unreason are always waiting in the wings, ready to seize upon fear and ignorance. In this battle we must arm ourselves not with anger or disdain, but with facts, with evidence, and with the unwavering conviction that truth, however difficult it may be to ascertain, is always worth pursuing. While Gary Null may continue to speak, to broadcast his dangerous mix of pseudoscience and paranoia, we are not obligated to listen, much less to follow. In the face of his unwarranted assault on one of the great achievements of modern medicine, our best response is to recommit ourselves to the values of reason, evidence, and scientific inquiry. Only by doing so can we hope to counter the tide of misinformation and protect the health and well-being of ourselves and our communities.